Hello, everybody. Wake up. Welcome to the Hazel and Mia Podcast. So, today we're going to be exploring the topics of tarot, astrology, and how it can relate to therapy. A lot of us are asking more questions
Yeah.
about um, what does all of this mean, especially tarot cards. How are they, or what advice is tarot trying to give to me? And we want to talk about how that can be used in conjunction with therapy, because it is not therapy. We are not like licensed therapists, so we don't want to correlate two things.
One important thing is, and I must stress this, is if your therapist says something to you, then don't come back and ask us if we agree, because your therapist is a qualified therapist. They
Yes.
would have gone to university, they would have had to do so many degrees and everything else. Whereas we are here to guide you. We ain't qualified in those fields.
Exactly. A lot of people also look at tarot and astrology as predicting the future. And I want to be clear that because we have free will, these tools can can actually help you discover some things
Yeah,
about
yeah,
yourself that you can then go to your therapist and develop. Work on fears that you may be having. Because
yeah.
I know a lot of people, when they come to a tarot card reader, or like Hazel use her spirit guide to
Yeah,
relay messages.
yeah. I use tarot as well, but the other thing we need to remember is tarot cards and angel cards are totally different things.
Yes.
That's why when you're looking for a reader, specifically look for the word tarot, because angel cards will give you, they don't give you guidance, they uplift you.
Okay.
Whereas tarot cards tell a story.
A lot of times, since we mentioned your spirit guides, I want to say that we all have spirit guides. Most of us are not in tune to our spirit guides, especially to the level that Hazel is with her spirit guide. We all have guardian angels.
Yes, yeah,
And mm, I would say that many of us try to hinder the messages that we receive from our guardian angels or from our spirit guides. It's because it's not something that was considered to be the norm.
yeah, yeah.
And you could actually be accused of being a little bit crazy if you.
I've been called that more than once and I'm used to it. But, and that's the thing. Tarot cards will only guide you. If you come to me and say, when will I find a job?
Mhm.
I'll say within 4, 6, 8, within so many weeks. You come back to me after that time and say, I haven't found a job. If I say to you, have you been looking and you've said no, how are you supposed to find a job in that time if you're not doing active things to do with it? And that's the thing. The cards will guide you, but you have to make it happen.
Exactly. You can't sit in your house watching TV and expect a job to show up at your door.
No, no.
That's not going to happen. When you get advice like that, even your therapist will encourage you to
Yeah,
apply to companies that interest you.
yeah.
The
And
worst thing that you can do is take a reading like that and think that you can be a biophysicist with
yeah,
a 12th grade education.
yeah,
that really tells you that you're not really cut out to be a biophysicist, or that it's not one thing that you're interested in.
Yeah. The other thing is, don't come to us and ask us what the lottery numbers are.
No.
Because if we knew the lottery numbers, do you think our family would have mortgages?
That's absolutely true. But also our spirit guides. I mean, there's only 1% of the population that was ever meant, or it's in your path
Yeah.
to win the lottery.
Yeah.
And you can tell that because even when people do win the lottery and it wasn't in their path, they squander the money.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing with tarot cards is, if they give you advice as not to contact him, and you go ahead and contact him, that's what we call your own free will.
Yes. Okay. And you have to recognize that even your therapist will push for you to work on yourself more before you attempt to get back into a relationship or get
Yeah.
into a relationship. It is about you knowing who you are.
Definitely. I'm a big believer in that.
Absolutely. If once you start looking at your inner self and finding out what things you can work on, what things you need help working on, then you will see your life moving in the direction that you want it to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understand that we cannot tell you which direction you should go in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. An ideal example today, I've done a reading for a lovely, lovely lady. And she said, I've been with him 7 years. Do you think this is going to last? He was 40 years older than her.
Yeah.
And I said, he's using you for his own benefit. And she said, what do you mean? I said, he's using you because you're a trophy on his arm. He's using you to get attention. And this is how the reading went. And she said, you're wrong. You're wrong. I said, look, I can only guide you with what I'm being told. After half an hour, she said to me, you've been completely right all through. He's been married for 40 years. So he had actually got married the year she was born.
Wow.
But we have been seeing each other for 7 years and he keeps saying he's going to leave her. And I was like, he's not going to. And this is one good thing about tarot. We are given the cards to give you and the messages, because even though I'm using cards, I'm still receiving a message from my guide, Kathy, because each card is individual to a person. So I could have the same card. Mia could have the same card, but they mean in totally different things.
That's absolutely true. And the thing that I get from that conversation is that intuitively she knew
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of those things.
Yeah.
But she still, and the reason she knew is because she came to you to ask the question.
Yeah. And
She
even
was,
though she was like arguing with me, at the end, she said, I'm so glad I've met somebody that won't give me BS, that's been straight down the line and told me how it was. I've been needing to hear it, but I had to accept it at the same time.
and that's absolutely true. Accepting the messages that you're receiving
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
This is why we got into this business, is because we can hear messages,
Yeah.
but getting that person to accept the message when they don't want to hear anything that may be counteractive to what they think is productive for them.
Yeah. When you're having a reading, I'll always say, have a pen and paper ready. I always say, have a list of questions that are burning within your mind. If you come to us and ask for a general, you're not necessarily going to get that answer for that burning question, because a
Absolutely.
general means a multitude of sins.
Absolutely. And you have to have had a question in mind when you
Yes.
contact us.
Yes.
But understand this. There is so much going on in your world that when you come to us and ask for a general reading, there's a lot of things that we can
Yeah.
pick up.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the burning question that you have on your mind.
Yeah.
And because you're asking for a general reading, we have to give you everything that comes to our mind, everything that comes in the cards.
Yes. That's an important thing. Sorry, Mia, to remember, guys. If you come to us anxious, that's not going to help. You need to try and be calm. You need to try and relax. Because believe it or not, when we are reading, especially with myself, I will always ask date of birth. That's because I work with energies. So if you come to me and you're anxious, and Mia probably works the same way, I can't say she do because we all work differently.
Correct.
Our guides will pick up on that anxiety.
Absolutely.
And that becomes so difficult to read because while you're anxious, your body is closing down because of the anxiety attack.
And literally, the anxiety blocks you from hearing any guide that you have.
Yes.
So if it blocks you, imagine what it does to us. Now, you already know that when you're in a toxic relationship, you're in it.
Yeah.
And you see it, but you want somebody else to validate you. Okay, that's fine. You know, we can help validate your feelings.
Because we feel your feelings, guys.
Yes.
What you're feeling, we feel. When we tune into you, if you've got a bad head, we feel that pain. If you've got an upset tummy, we feel that. And more often than not, that's where we'll say to you, have you got a bad head? Have you got an upset tummy? Because for us, we are just reinforcing and clarifying for you guys that we are connected.
I don't usually go that direction, but I understand full well why Hazel uses her spirit guides fully with those techniques. I can pick up on old habits that you have based on the conversations that we're having. And I will give you guidance on, okay, it sounds to me as if you're a procrastinator or you're a workaholic. You know, are you using certain things like food or drink to kind of numb your feelings that you're going through? Those are the types of things that I can help guide you away from, give you information on how to change those things, but I will almost always encourage you to seek the advice of your therapist. And I have learned that therapy is becoming a really important tool. It used to be long ago that you couldn't talk about going into therapy because immediately people thought that that meant you were crazy. And that's not what therapy is about. That's not what we do is about.
No.
We're not here to tell you that you're crazy or that you need medication or anything like that. We're here to validate your feelings.
Yeah. And that's more so what it's about. Because as Mia said, she works in a different way to me. That's where we are all unique as readers.
Right.
And you will always find there's one or two readers that you will click more with than others. Please be assured that's natural.
Right. For me, I have heard a lot of people who grew up with very strict religions.
Yeah.
And it was considered taboo to say that you had spoken with a psychic or a medium or a therapist.
Yeah.
That was not something that you did. And I try to help people kind of loosen up the rigidity of
Yeah.
the religious beliefs
Yeah.
because you're actually following somebody else's beliefs.
Yeah. Like when I read for someone, I'll always ask, what cards do you want? This is why. Because, let me just get them. And this is an ideal thing on. You'll see how tattered my cards are. But that's because I swear by them. Now, when I do a reading for someone, I always ask, do you want the small cards or do you want the big cards? If I'm doing a video reading, I do that because then the client will tell me which ones they're drawn to.
Okay. Okay.
Then the client feels more involved within their reading because they've made that decision. And I
Very
will
good.
tell you now, the older clients always go for the black and white.
Can I ask why?
The older clients see things in black and white as being the normal.
Ah, okay.
Because when they were younger, if you think about it, I'm saying older clients because we are, coming to that age.
Speak for yourself.
When they were growing up, they were told everything had to be written.
Ah,
And they always wrote in black pens on white paper.
yes. Yes.
Whereas the younger generation, they like colours. They like seeing all the pretty colours because they're bold.
I have to say that that's very interesting because I think our younger generation are very much more creative,
Yeah,
more artistic than many of us in the older
yeah,
generation was because we did have some really great artistic people. I'm talking about music wise,
yeah,
um, paintings. That was very prominent
yeah,
in some
yeah,
cultures. But I'm seeing across the board more younger people are very creative in the way they work.
yeah.
And I have to say that AI is a huge benefit for them.
That's the bane of my life, that is.
Now, everybody wants to know why that is, Hazel. You can't bloody use it.
Oh, Sean, how do I do this? And he's like, for God's sake, mother.
Just ask AI.
Oh,
How do
God.
I do this? But I'm seeing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
younger people are using their creative ways in conjunction with AI and coming up with some amazing things.
yeah, yeah,
I have to say that I do also enjoy using AI. I find it gives me accurate information um, like that very quickly.
yeah, yeah,
Now, on the internet, but I also will say that it encourages me to be interactive. I don't just take the first answer I get because I want to go into more depth in a conversation. Yes, they can give me basic information up front, but I want to know more.
yeah,
And it pushes me to learn more.
yeah, yeah. And that makes complete sense. That makes complete sense.
You know, now I wanted to ask because I know that neither of us are astrologists, but have you seen how changes in like the aspects of the moon or in somebody's zodiac sign, how it changes in the readings that you give?
Well, I can tell you from my own personal experience, when we have a full moon
Mhm.
and a really strong full moon, you can guarantee I have to buy one new white item for my kitchen
Why is that?
because the electrics blow.
Re
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
But it's one white item, did you say?
yeah. So it's like my fridge, my washing machine, my cooker, my dishwasher, just things, appliances.
Mm-hmm.
You can guarantee when we have a full moon, something always blows up.
But that's every month. Don't we have a full moon every month?
Not the real powerful, powerful ones.
Okay. So, um, is it quarterly?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. As
Okay.
it stands at the moment, I'm looking for a new cooker.
So, listeners out there, Hazel's cooker has blown.
Yeah, feel sorry for me, guys. Feel sorry for me. I'll put
But
the
if
link for
you're,
my Just Giving page.
I just want to ask if somebody is experiencing this, and let's say on the full moon, they just have um, a, a a depression. They're going through a
Yeah,
deep depression,
yeah,
and it can be related to your birth sign, the full
yeah,
moon, and the environment you're in.
yes. The other thing to think of as well, when it comes to horoscopes, if you're on the cusp of a sign, it's very natural to be affected by the two.
Okay. Understood. Well, look, this was a really interesting conversation, and I think we need to do a part two on this.
Definitely,
Uh,
definitely.
I just want to ask everybody if you enjoyed this show, please give us a like and thumbs up and subscribe and come back to join us for part two.
And I'm going to give the viewers something. I want 3 questions of different people in the comments, and I will show you next week how my tarot cards work.
Oh,
Because
excellent.
come back for next week's podcast, and I will answer your question in the way that you will understand, and you will understand how tarot cards work at the same time.
Well, I'm already coming up with my 3 questions.
You can go away.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure to be here today. Always a pleasure to be with Hazel. And we look forward to your questions and seeing you next week.
See you next
Goodbye.
week. Bye.